Hey guys, Rich from Over the Fender Garage. Well, the big day's here. It is time to start tearing it down. I've got everything done that needs to be done. So now it is start to bust it down. Get ready for paint. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'll get my bumpers off. We'll get those cleaned up. Get this bed apart. And then the one thing I gotta do is I gotta finish the bar on the suspension. Get that done. I'll drill the holes for the reese hitch. I got it marked. And I got a little pilot hole in them, but I didn't drill all the holes. I gotta do all that. Get the front bumper off, clean it up. Fenders, grill, I got the little bit of body work to do on the grill. Everything that's left is really tiny stuff. We'll get these knocked out and I'll get my wheel wells finished up. I got these all tacked up. So now I got to run my piece of metal on top of those and get those done and then clean up underneath, get my stuff that's holding it together right now off there. So we'll get that done. And get it down to the chassis. Yay! Because probably the first thing I will get painted will be the chassis. Get that done out of the way because then I can start running brake lines, the return line for the fuel system, get all that kind of stuff done. Let's see what else I got to do. Basically, that's going to be it. And then I'll get the bed liner. So I can bed line this. And I got to do the wheel wells in the back still, but that's like I said, I want to have those off to do those. Makes that a lot easier. I could do this with the fronts. Get that done. So it's kind of, that's what it's going to be now. It's just going to be a bunch of tearing apart and just touching up little stuff that's got to be touched up. Little finishing things. So let's get on it. Get this thing done. Ready for paint. I can't wait to see it done. Can't wait to take that thing for a spin. Oh, that thing's gonna be a blast. All right, what I got left to do is I'm just knocking out a few little things here. I got the bed off here, and what I'm doing is I'm making this bar up right now, and what happened is I forgot to mark the back bar where the exhaust system gets close to it and where the upper bars get close to it. And I forgot to measure it. So what I did is I made up a couple of 14 gauge plates right here. So that'll get welded onto there. It'll have that bolt hole in there, right there. One bolt through here, one bolt through there, and then a bolt through the frame and a bolt through the bar. So it'll do the exact same thing, just with one bar instead of two. And then the next little thing I got, put that way up here. I got a piece of 4-inch exhaust pipe, and I am going to take this and I am going to mount it to my floor right there where I got to cut that spot out for drive shaft clearance. I'm going to cut that out and put that in there. So that'll be done. And I got the doors and everything off here. Went and cleaned up all the floor. So that's ready for a nice coat of primer so I can put the sound deadener on it. I still got to clean up that back piece a little bit. All that stuff is done now. A little bit of body work to do on the jams. Get that knocked out. Had to put the hole for the power windows. That on both sides. One little piece of body work to finish right here. And then get it up off the chassis and get the bottom side done. So that's all pretty quick. Not a whole heck of a lot left on there. And then I went and got my doors laying over here. And I went and marked where my hinges are at with the drill hole. So I can get those back in the same spot. And what I gotta do is just clean these up a little bit. Put a little filler in there. Get that edge nice. This area here where I welded it, just a tiny bit of cleaning up to do on that. And that will all be done. Hooray. Then we got the little bit of body work to do on the rail. I sanded it the rest of the way. I had a couple welds to touch up. But for the most part, that's done. Got my handle lifter uppers welded on there. I gotta still finish cleaning that one up. And got the little piece of grill. I gotta do a little touch-up welding on that. That little tiny bit of body work on that. Got my wheel wells cleaned up. Got a little fiber fill on the little seam area. So it's cleaned up. They fit in there pretty good. It was a great idea. Gives me a lot of clearance. So all I gotta do is clean those up the rest of the way, and those are done. Everything hopefully will be ready for primer by the end of today. So I can get all that stuff primed up. And then hopefully, I'm thinking that I'll do the chassis next. So I can get that in there and get it painted. And then hopefully, I can get a little bit of work done on the bottom of the cab and maybe get the bottom of the cab painted. I'll just paint the floor underneath black. The bed liner's on its way, so I can get the bed liner on the bed underneath. So all that'd be done. I do got a couple of rust holes to fix on the back rail here. We gotta fix these things up because I'm not gonna change that rail because this will get changed out as soon as I can get that in my budget. But I'm gonna use the truck, so the bed don't have to be perfect. Just gotta be good enough. That'll work. The rest of the truck will look beautiful. Bed floor is easy to change later on. But that's basically it. We've got a little body work to do on that seam and this one. but it's really close. It's really, really close. So by the end of today, it should be ready to be broke all the way down so I can start painting some stuff, which would be awesome. So let's get on it. All right, now I got these welded up, the outside brackets. I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some plugs here. It's from a old suspension kit for mocking it up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick them in these holes here on the outside and weld that on and then cut this off to where it's almost flush. So that'll, when you bolt it on, it won't crush that tube. I got 4 put in here. So everything to do is get those in there, weld those up, and the bar will be done. Be ready to go back in. I don't have bolts that long, I don't think. I have to go through my stuff and see. But at least it's done. It'll, for the most part, be there. Most of that's got to come off anyway for painting. So kind of no reason to put it on because it's nice to take these off, paint behind it, paint these, put it back together. There's no rust forms in here. So, but it'll be done. I'll drill the rest of the holes here and on to fixing a little part of the cab where the drive shaft goes. All right, now do this little piece here. I cut that off. So, yeah. All right, we got this last little piece here. I should have cut that straight while I was at it. But let's see here. We make this to about right there. And I can cut it down. Go through here. I probably could take it all the way through to the back. Like that, if I wanted to. Let me see here. I did that. Yeah, I guess that's good enough. So we put the notch in this, cut this piece out, but I want to make this piece first so I can get a mark on here on where it cut it. I opened this up a little bit. It should be about 5 inches now. I could actually open it up a little bit more. A little more room in there. So I'm gonna go clean this up and then we'll figure out where to cut this one at. Get this up in there. Now I got my hole cut. I got my piece just rough size. I'm gonna get that to fit up in here tighter, and then I'll weld this on, and then I'll clean it up. Be done. All right, now we've got that all done. Let's take a peek. Oh, look at how nice. Clean it up a little bit so I can jack it up some. But we'll get that cleaned up a little bit more with the rest of the floor, and that'll be good. But for the next thing we'll do is we will stick in that bar. See how that came out. Should fit in there real nice now. Oh, I don't have the holes drilled. Oh, I gotta stop. I gotta drill the holes. My low gear shifter broke on my drill, so as I got his high speed. All right. All right. Should go back in this way. Be like, boom. Ooh, I'm gonna put me. Well, I should be able to tap it. Yep. Boom. Just like that. Oh yeah. Done. Cool. All right. Well, that about knocks it out. Nice. These are nice and tight to the thing. This one, a little tiny bit of play. Ain't nothing matter. That one's nice and tight. One over there is nice and tight. And one here got a tiny bit of play, but nothing, the bolt won't pull tight. And that is it. I think the welding is done. All right. So now on to doing a little bit more body work. We should be able to knock this stuff out with some primer today. All righty. Well, we got everything primed up. All the back sides of everything. Wheel wells, the bumper, the valance, the grill. Everything came out looking pretty good. So now I have to go ahead and I have to sand all this stuff. It came out looking great. You can't even tell they were modified. So basically now I can go ahead and I can sand all this stuff. A high build primer on it. So it should take care of all that kind of stuff. Sand up nicely. We've got the cab all done. So the next thing I've got left to do is the front fenders. I had forgot to finish the welding on them, so I need to touch up the weld here and here. I wanted to go ahead and get everything primered, so I went ahead and primered it anyway. I'll just have to grind that off. So that'll get fixed, and then I should be able to knock this out, take this piece off and fill that blinker spot in. So we'll get that done, and then we will pull the cab off the chassis, get that up in the air, because I want to be able to try to get this chassis painted today. That would be nice. So it's ready to start going back together. So that's kind of my game plan here.